Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Ethereum is still playing out this bullish divergence pattern, while Bitcoin is potentially now playing out this new bearish divergence pattern, despite the recent breakouts above this significant resistance, which I'll talk more about in just a moment, so definitely stick around. First of all, starting off on the daily Bitcoin chart, and right now, as of recording this video, the Bitcoin price has now confirmed one daily candle close in the red after the recent higher high. And obviously, as I've mentioned in recent videos here on the channel, while the price of Bitcoin is forming higher highs in the daily candle closes, the RSI on the daily time frame is actually forming lower highs, which is a bearish divergence. And this one daily candle close in the red is technically one initial confirmation signal pointing towards the confirmation of the bearish divergence. But as you can see here in the daily Bitcoin RSI, we currently do not have a strong turnaround for this lower high, which basically means we don't really have a lot of confirmation for the lower high to actually cement in place here in the RSI. So ideally, in order to become more confident in this bearish divergence actually confirming and beginning to play out, we need to see at least one more daily candle close in the red. And ideally, we need to see that daily candle close below around 28,000 in the price in order to actually see a decent rejection here in the RSI, because that's exactly what we need to confirm in the RSI to actually be confident that yes, this lower high is confirmed in place in the RSI, because otherwise, if we do not confirm those red candles here in the price, obviously it's possible we could continue higher in the price, which can drag the RSI further to the upside into new higher highs. And obviously, if we have higher highs in the price and higher highs in the RSI, there's no bearish divergence there at all. And so this is why we need to see a little bit more confirmation with a rejection initially in the price to help confirm a rejection in the RSI, which once again will confirm the bearish divergence. And as always, a bearish divergence means we're due to see reduced bullish momentum, which plays out in the form of either choppy sideways price action, if not a bit more of a pullback in the price. And now, even if this bearish divergence actually confirms on the daily time frame, obviously just recently we have seen a confirmed breakout above this significant area of resistance sitting in between around 27.9k to 28.2k. And so the best case scenario for the bulls out there, if the bearish divergence actually confirms, is essentially a slight pullback, perhaps into this area of previous resistance, which could now act as new support. And basically, for as long as the price of Bitcoin holds above around 27.9k and we pretty much consolidate above that previous area of resistance, then that is actually good news in terms of the bullish trend. That can mean we're basically taking a pause before heading higher on a next leg to the upside. And in that scenario, if we do end up finding support at this previous resistance and continue on with another leg to the upside later on, then in that case, the next important areas of resistance are, first of all, this area sitting in between around 29.1k to 29.4k approximately. And in a more bullish scenario, we have this area of resistance sitting in between around 30.2k to 30.4k. And as for support here on the daily time frame, once again, we could now find new support at this previous area of resistance in between 27.9k to 28.2k. And for the Bitcoin bears out there, obviously the more bearish scenario would be if we simply break below 27.9k, which would first of all confirm the bearish divergence. And obviously, if we break back below this previous significant area of resistance, that would be a bearish signal by itself as well. So essentially, right now is a critical moment for the price of Bitcoin when we're talking about what could happen over the next few weeks. Over the next few days can really determine the next few weeks. And now, if you're zooming into a smaller time frame, looking at the 6-hour Bitcoin chart, just recently we've actually seen a perfect rejection from this Fibonacci level acting as resistance, sitting at around 28.7k. So at least in the short term, once again, that is acting as a resistance, as I've mentioned recently on the channel. And in a more bullish scenario, then obviously we still have these levels of resistance further to the upsides. But as for short-term support, looking at some of these Fibonacci levels, first of all, we have the 38.2% Fibonacci level of support at around 27.9k to 28k. But if we see a break back below that level, then in that case, the next short-term support is sitting at around 27.3 to 27.4 1.4k, and the golden pocket acting as support in between around 26.6k to 26.7k approximately. And as I've mentioned over the last couple of days, obviously the 6-hour Bitcoin RSI recently entered into overbought territories, meaning the price went too far to the upside too quickly and we were overheated, overbought, meaning we're due to see a bit of a cool off, a reset in the RSI. And this reset in the RSI can play out in the form of either choppy sideways price action, if not a slight pullback in the shorter term as the most common outcomes. So just in the shorter term, talking about the coming hours or days, once again, that is what I'm expecting moving forward. Just a bit of a cool off from all of that bullish price action that we saw a couple of days ago. And as for support and resistance based on the Bitcoin order books across multiple different exchanges, we have a decent amount of buy orders acting as support in between around 27.8k to 27.9k. And as for resistance, looking at the sell orders, we have a decent amount of sell orders acting as resistance at around 28.9k. And if you're looking at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we have a lot of liquidations, a lot of liquidity sitting at around 28.1k to 28.2k. So basically, if we end up seeing a bit of short-term bearish price action here with this bearish divergence playing out on the daily time frame, that is the price range where Bitcoin will likely head next, because Bitcoin usually heads towards these areas of liquidity. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this is on the daily ETH to US dollar chart, and obviously the price of ETH is still trading below this significant area of resistance, still sitting at around 1620 to 1660. And as for the daily Ethereum price oscillators, first of all, the MACD as of right now is showing very low momentum, meaning at least for now in terms of the trend on the daily time frame, we don't really have a strong direction. We're basically just chopping around sideways. And as for the daily Ethereum RSI, once again, this bullish divergence is technically still active, meaning we're due to see either choppy sideways price action on the daily chart, if not a bullish relief on the daily chart over the next 1 to 2 weeks or so from when this bullish divergence confirmed a few days ago. And obviously, so far, this has been playing out as expected. And once again, it's still likely going to play out for at least the next 1 week as the most likely outcome. And as for significant levels of support and resistance on the daily time frame, we still have this significant level of support, which is really a price range if you're looking at the level of support and these previous lows in between around 1510 to 1540 acting as support. But if we end up seeing a confirmed break with daily candle closes back below 1510, so back below around 1.5k, then in that case, the next significant area of support is this golden pocket sitting in between around 1360 to 1.4k. And as for resistance, we have this previous 38.2% Fibonacci level of support now acting as a new resistance, sitting at around 1640 approximately. And if you're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 6-hour time frame, as for short-term support and resistance, we still have this level of resistance at around 1605. But in a more bullish scenario, if we actually confirm a breakout back above 1605, then in that case, the next short-term resistance are sitting at around 1630, and the golden pocket sitting in between around 1660 to 1670 acting as resistance. And as for short-term support, we do have a bit of support around 1570, and below that we have more support down towards around 1530 approximately. But once again, as I mentioned on the daily time frame in the MACD, we are lacking momentum, which means we're currently seeing a lot of choppy sideways price action, which is one of the most common outcomes from a bullish divergence. But believe it or not, you can actually make a lot of profit very easily from choppy sideways price action just like this. And if you want to know how to do that, then check out the video in the bottom left of your screen right now, because that video right there shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action, and the video in the top left shows you how you can easily profit if the price is bullish or bearish using AI. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.